The basketball world was shaken when a feud erupted between one of the greatest players in women's basketball history, Diana Taurasi, and the sport's rising star, Caitlin Clark. This story is filled with drama, history, and the clash of two basketball generations. Let's dive into this tale of rivalry, respect, and the inevitable passing of the torch. Diana Taurasi, often referred to as the GOAT, greatest of all time, is a household name in women's basketball. Her resume is unparalleled. 3 college championships at UConn, 3 WNBA titles, and the title of the all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. Her dominance on the court inspired countless young athletes, many of whom grew up idolizing her. Taurasi's name became synonymous with excellence, grit, and leadership in the sport. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark emerged as a generational talent, someone who seemed destined to redefine women's basketball. Clark's name started dominating headlines during her college career at Iowa, where she shattered records and captivated audiences with her extraordinary scoring ability and court vision. Averaging over 30 points per game and breaking collegiate scoring records, Clark became a phenomenon. Basketball fans and analysts began calling her the future of women's basketball. Even Taurasi herself once acknowledged Clark's brilliance, making the clash between these two athletes even more unexpected. Clark always showed respect for Taurasi, describing her as one of the first players she ever idolized. Clark's reverence for basketball's history and its pioneers was evident in interviews, where she often credited players like Taurasi and Maya Moore for inspiring her. However, as Clark's star rose, she unintentionally became a polarizing figure. Fans and media started focusing on her, often ignoring other players, including seasoned veterans like Taurasi. This shift in attention did not sit well with everyone. The tension began to build when Taurasi made several comments that appeared dismissive of Clark's achievements. During a 4-hour live stream with Sue Bird, Taurasi openly admitted her approach to rookies, to humble them. "When I face rookies, my goal is to kill them," Taurasi said. Her strategy involved mental and physical domination, often starting before the game even began. "I'd tell them, 'Oh, you had a great senior year? Well, let's see what you've got now,'" she added. Taurasi's unapologetic competitive spirit had earned her respect and fear from players across the league. However, when it came to Caitlin Clark, her words seemed more hostile than instructional. The animosity became clearer when Taurasi made a controversial statement about Paige Bueckers, another young star, saying she would pick Bueckers over Clark without offering much justification. Many speculated that Taurasi's loyalty to her alma mater, UConn, where Bueckers played, was influencing her judgment. Others believed Taurasi felt threatened by the meteoric rise of Clark, whose college performances overshadowed Taurasi's own collegiate career. While Taurasi averaged 15 points per game in college, Clark was putting up over 30 points consistently, often single-handedly carrying her team. Things escalated when Clark was controversially left off the USA women's national team roster. Many viewed this as a snub, especially given Clark's exceptional college performances. Taurasi's reaction, or lack thereof, added fuel to the fire. It appeared as though Taurasi, once hailed as the league's savior, was struggling to adapt to a new era where the spotlight was shifting to younger players. Fast forward to June 30th. The Indiana Fever, Clark's team, faced the Phoenix Mercury, led by Taurasi. The game was more than just a regular season matchup. It was a showdown fueled by months of tension and drama. Over 17,000 fans packed the arena despite severe weather advisories. Tickets were selling for as much as $2,000, reflecting the anticipation surrounding this clash. The game started with Taurasi and her teammate Brittany Griner dominating. The Mercury built a 15-point lead, and it seemed like they were going to cruise to an easy victory. But everything changed when Clark found her rhythm. Her explosive scoring and playmaking turned the tide, and the energy in the arena shifted dramatically. Fans were on the edge of their seats as Clark began to dismantle the Mercury's defense. Surprisingly, Taurasi, known for her competitive fire, appeared to back away from the challenge. Instead of taking on Clark directly, she left her teammates to handle the rising star. This move shocked fans and analysts alike. For months, Taurasi had talked about humbling rookies, But when faced with Clark's brilliance, she seemed to retreat. The Mercury, despite their early lead, crumbled under the pressure. Clark finished the game with 15 points and 12 assists, leading the Fever to a stunning comeback victory. The fallout from this game was immense. Fans criticized Taurasi for failing to live up to her GOAT status during such a high-stakes matchup. Comparisons to NBA legends like Michael Jordan were inevitable. "Could you imagine Jordan shying away from a challenge like that?" one analyst remarked. Meanwhile, Clark's stock continued to rise. She followed up the victory with 2 more dominant performances against the Mercury, further solidifying her status as the league's next big star. Clark's impact extended beyond her battles with Taurasi. She also had a point to prove against Cheryl Reeve, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx and the USA women's national team. Reeve, who lived near Clark's hometown, had been instrumental in the decision to leave Clark off the national team roster. Publicly, Clark maintained her composure, saying there were no hard feelings. However, her performances against the Lynx told a different story. In a highly anticipated matchup, the Lynx's second-ranked defense frustrated Clark for most of the game. She struggled with turnovers and poor shooting, and the Lynx built a 7-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. It seemed like Clark was headed for a rare defeat. But then, in the final quarter, she came alive. Clark ignited a rally that stunned the Lynx and their fans. Despite an off night by her standards, she found ways to contribute, making crucial defensive plays and setting up her teammates for key baskets. The Fever pulled off an upset, and Clark's fiery performance left no doubt about her resilience. Off the court, Clark's growing popularity sparked debates in the media. ESPN's Molly Karam, a polarizing figure in sports commentary, found herself at the center of controversy. Fans accused Karam of downplaying Clark's achievements while propping up other players. The backlash against Karam highlighted a broader issue: the struggle to fairly evaluate new talent without diminishing the contributions of past legends. Clark's rise symbolized a shift in women's basketball, and not everyone was ready to embrace it. As the season progressed, the narrative surrounding Taurasi and Clark evolved. Taurasi's struggles raised questions about her future in the league. Was it time for her to retire? Meanwhile, Clark continued to break barriers, leading the Fever to a playoff berth and earning comparisons to NBA stars for her impact on and off the court. The rivalry between Taurasi and Clark became a microcosm of the changing landscape in women's basketball, where the old guard and the new wave collided. Clark's story is far from over. Her battles with Taurasi, Reeve, and other figures in the basketball world have only strengthened her resolve. She represents the future of the sport, a player who respects its history while forging her own path. As for Taurasi, her legacy is secure, but her feud with Clark serves as a reminder that even the greatest must eventually make way for the next generation. Don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. See you next time.